Alrighty, so as you see here, January 13th, 2026, we got news. Now, mind you, this is my third time recording this, so I already know what's going on. I woke up to some very heated messages about these patch notes, so we're going to cover them and give you my personal take on them. Now, let's just start in the buff section, shall we? Actually, beforehand, let's say what we were hoping for, okay? Hoping for proper Trunks buffs, nerf Ultimate Gohan in Super Saiyan 4. They're just too oppressive. Or buff the other techs and tanks because like, I don't like facing it, but I like the way they're set up, their game plan. What I don't like is that they're the only viable tech. So, maybe some of that. Uh, maybe nerf Goku a little bit, buff Dabura. That's about it. Yeah. Let's see what they did. First, we got a Super Saiyan Trunks buff. Nice. This is good and all. More goo goo gaga ass you can't see blind shit with Krillin. Um, 12 seconds to 10 seconds on his Vanish Strike. That's nice. That is nice. He needs a health buff, and he actually needed his skill 2 and skill 1 to be that the cooldown brought down. But it's fine. We're at cooler. His skill 1 in the last patch, or the last patch that he was actually nerfed, his Destructive Ray got put from 4 seconds to 6 seconds, but they boosted its iframes. Now it's 6 seconds to 5 seconds, and they buffed its continuous damage over time. Now he gets DOT with like a Pillar of Fire with his upgraded skill 1 if he uses it with the Emperor passive. The damage it does got cut in half. How often it does the damage got doubled, but the duration is extended. So especially at level 1, it's going to be doing more damage overall. But you didn't pick him for Destructive Ray. You picked him for, especially Destructive Ray upgraded. You picked him for you're not allowed to vanish, and you get stunned whenever you use warping moves. His skill 2. Dabura. Remember, this is the buff section. I like to point out really, really heavily how much this is the buff section. So the buff is AoE, they nerf the build up. They buff the cooldown of his skill 2, they nerf the vanishing step, they nerf the speed duration, and they barely buff the speed he gets, and it's on the harder to land versions. And they just downright nerf his Evil Flame. Buff section, by the way. Crash got decreased, which is understandable. He got nerfed whenever Super Saiyan 4 was going to come out because of breaking walls. But no one used him anyways because they got rid of hot buns. And no one's gonna use him because they got rid of hot buns. Um, what a decoy does is if you're obstructed, you gain a speed and vanish step buff. And an obstruction is anything that like stuns you, slows you, puts you on fire. Characters like uh Super Saiyan 4's wall gives him no obstruction, which is why he can't get taken by Rildo. But they just they buff the movement speed and the Vanish Step recovery. So they're boosting more Vanish Step. Guardian Angel, the damage it does to you, like the damage reduction it gives from the damage you're taking from your teammates, got boosted, I think. Or it could have gotten nerfed from 30 to 20. But I believe it got buffed to 30 last patch. Super Saiyan Goku! Mind you, the first character you ever get. The character that got nerfed patch after patch after patch. Got nerfed again. His stagger that was like for a quarter of a second that was just used to disrupt counters that would, if not disrupted, one-shot Goku. Doesn't stagger anymore. Why would they want that? Your boy Mike was having too much fun with Goku. Lobo was having too much fun with Goku. So instead it slows you down. But that's fine, because Kaioken can be used for other skills. No, it can't be used for speed specifically, because it only has one stack now. Mind you, whenever they added a second charge to it being maxed out, was whenever they nerfed its speed from 200 to 120. But it's okay because they buffed the initial speed, the speed that you can be using for a Kamehameha or a Meteor Hammer, to 55%. Now his Super Spirit Bomb, the little balloon in the sky now for 1.5 seconds, it takes longer to land. The damage drop off is less from 4 meters to 2 meters, which means the farther you are from the center, the less damage you're taking. But it lingers for half a second less. There's 90% less damage. Kaioken input does like 87% less damage. The additional explosion does 75 less percent less damage. And this is in the thousands, so this is make or break for Basakir. So Goku's just in the ground. He's unviable. And then we have Mini Goku, who already got nerfed, but why not nerf him again, even though he wasn't playable? 60% decrease to his strike damage, 75 decrease to the maximum, so that's already putting a high ceiling and a low ceiling and a low buildup. Divine combo cards, Lightning Swift, my goat, my messiah, got buffed. Kinda, I'm joking, and got nerfed to an additional 6 seconds cooldown. So I think it didn't have a cooldown last time, so it's like 6 seconds now. Super Snowball. You might think, okay, it's just 75 for 4 stacks, but it's 40 for 5 stacks. 200 is pretty good. Yeah, it was 300. It was 300 additional damage. And now you need an extra kill. That's fun. But it's okay, because build up got nerfed. All defense up reduced from 30 to 15. That's okay. They buffed it last time from 20 to 30, which means this is the lowest it's ever been. Um, but what people are not pointing out enough is right here. Takes 3 NPCs to get a stack, and you need 15 stacks for a maximum of 225 of the original 300. Now, mind you, you might just think, okay, 2 to 3, that isn't that much. It's like, what, 50% nerf, right? That's not that bad. It was 20 NPCs you needed, now it's 45. Mind you, some characters like Ultimate Gohan who need to run build up or they get destroyed because Ultimate Gohan is not that big of an issue. You just run someone with no obstruction. Like Oob. Oob kills Ultimate Gohan. Uh yeah. He's never getting max build up. Ever. A day in his life. And I doubt you will either. Definitely not Super Saiyan Goku. Because 45, it would have already been like minute 10, minute 8 for good farming characters for you to get all 20. Now it's more than double the amount. That's not a mere 50%. This is a 150% increase in the amount you need, and you get what? 75% less defense? So build up's dead. But it's okay. It's okay. Because they added a good buff, a good rework, if you will. Because barrier's duration is from 2 seconds to 1.5. That's good. That's good. Barrier was a bit overused, you know? But now it takes 15 seconds to come back. So, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing in the slightest. Because that 10 seconds was already really hard to play around. And you just go in and out at low health. And you could just get stunned and then you die. Because mind you, it's like 60% less damage. It's not 90. You still take a good amount of damage with the barrier up. Defense step, additional 4% on the cooldown. That's, with all the vanishes coming around, that's good. Especially since it has a 4-second cooldown, and the buff it gives you is for 3 seconds. Reminds me of like the Kale nerf with her build, with her skill one. Super Saiyan Gotenks, my baby, my boy. God, let me just point this out. Adjusted, as you've noticed, in the buffs, they nerfs people. They nerf people. In the nerfs, they throw them into the ground, stomp on them, and call them a stupid, silly little boy. How dare you enjoy my game? And in the adjustments, they give buffs you didn't need that don't mean anything. And they nerf the only things that were good about them. This is, at max level, a 1000 damage loss on Gotenks. And don't get me wrong, saying 1000 damage loss on Piccolo's skill 2 means if you hit every single blast. It's really easy to hit every single ghost on Gotenks because they home, and the 5 meters was enough because that was already all of your screen. But it's fine because don't worry, they also nerfed the worst DPS, Android 18. You know that little nerf, that little debuff that Son Gohan gives whenever he hits you with his uncharged skill 2, you can't attack? Apparently, 18 had that. Now, we never knew because, to be fair, it didn't put up that much of a fight because she's 18. But they reduced the cooldown. They increased the damage a itty bitty bit. And you're still going to get wiped anyway, so you're only really going to get a 10% damage increase from 105 to 115. And they took away a actually insane buff, an insane debuff that she gives to other people that you're definitely going to notice now that it's gone because she's going to get wiped even more. But it's okay, we took away 1 second from her cooldown. Movement break and jump, this just seems like a clarity change, actually, because it's still going to be on cooldown either way, and once the cooldown's not on cooldown, cooldown ends. But additional seconds, 6 seconds. I don't believe it had a cooldown beforehand, it was just, vanish gets off, you can use it again. So, if you remember, Lightning Swift, 6 seconds. It's paired up perfectly to be used together. I don't know, man. I don't know. That might be something. Bug fixes. Super Saiyan Gotenks. His super ghosts whenever they were following someone. If you couldn't see the opponent, you can't see the ghosts, which is kind of bad whenever you've detached your screen. You can't exactly follow them. This is nice. Gekushin rules. If you're attacking a tower and your activation gets interrupted, then you're not going to lose your cooldown. Like if you were trying to attack someone with, let's say, Kale, and you're on their tower, and you accidentally use your ultimate on tower, because this game is laggy as hell, and then you get hit right after, you just lost a 100-second, 2-minute cooldown, which is good. It's a good improvement. Matchmaking. In S rank, this doesn't matter because there's so little S ranks in your region at the exact time that you're playing that you're just gonna run into them anyways. This would have been better if you only needed 2 people because it would have been easier for me to, you know, get these informational videos out, which I need to make a new one on Goku. Um, but now you can make like a Valorant Curious video of can one S rank beat 4 E ranks? Because you only need 4 people, which means you can have 5 people instead of the 8 you needed. So that could be fun. Be like, could 4 S ranks playing bottom tier characters beat one? Can 4 E ranks playing bottom tier characters beat one S rank playing a top tier? You could do that. And this just seems also like clarity. Now, step before. What do we need? Ultimate Gohan, nerfed. Super Saiyan 4, nerfed. Tiny nerf to Goku. Because even as a Goku player, he's kind of good. I mean, not anymore, but he is kind of good. I mean, him itty bitty nerf. Maybe just like Spirit Bomb damage decrease by like 3,000 to 2,800. Um, and Trunks boost to health. What do we get? Deborah nerfed. 18 nerfed. Super Saiyan Goku nerfed. Gotenks nerfed. Cooler gets a useless buff, meaningless. Trunks gets a near meaningless buff. Build Up gets stabbed to death in a dark parking lot. Super Snowball just took 5 fucking grams of cocaine and doesn't know where the hell they are. And then they got stabbed to death in a dark parking lot. Uh, Vanishes got buffed. Their cooldowns got tied together to work together perfectly. And possibly the most important thing that would have saved Deborah with all these vanishes, his debuff that his spear gives is for 4 seconds. And if you remember what it looked like in the trailer for the vanish time with that card, it looked like 3 seconds. Which means this could eat up one vanish option. And it was already really hard to turn someone to stone, especially in team fights. And you need that extra 1 second, but now you don't have that. So yeah, uh, cook. We're so screwed. It's like we've given them $1 million and they've said, "Oh my God, you're so generous. I just ran out of toilet paper. Thank you." And then they use it to wipe their ass. Mm. In any case, I'm not sure what video comes out next. Could be the OOP video or the Super Saiyan 4 video. But at the time of recording this, tomorrow Super Saiyan 4 comes out. We'll be seeing how bad these changes are. The build up, the Super Snowball, the Goku changes. Uh, yeah. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video. And let's hope they fix these changes at some point.